Hi, today we're coming to you from Studio A at AudioVision Productions, and we're going to talk about trade show videos and trade show video presentations. And with me, two very special guests, Marlys Arnold, trade show specialist, trade show extraordinaire. What's your new title, actually, Marlys?
Trade show marketing strategist.
Ooh. I'm glad you said that. And Steve Ohler. Steve comes to us from Jetta. He's a senior vice president of marketing. And we recently produced a video for Steve for his mammoth screen of how big is that screen?
It's a 75
inch screen. And you and I got together thanks to Skyline Displays over in Olathe. They had referred you to us, and we were able to take a lot of high-power graphics, photos that you had, and some intense music. And I'll just let you tell the story. How'd that go?
It went great. Our first actual showing was at CES in January, and I think I gave you my vision. You know, we wanted to kind of pull people towards our booth with a lot of movement and dynamics in the video, and actually pulled it off. It did an excellent job doing that. And the other point I want to mention is we did it in Blu-ray high def.
Yes.
Because 75 inches, and that worked out just wonderfully.
It's interesting you mention that because we're working on a series of trade show videos for another company in Kansas right now. And they had the same thought. They had all this equipment that they just didn't want to haul around to all the different trade shows. So what we did was we did an overview video, which is about 2.5 minutes long, a lot of eye candy, a lot of this and that. But then we did some just pretty straight ahead shots of the equipment. And these could go up to about 2 minutes in length. And they were basically static shots. We had some voiceover. We had minimal graphics. We upload those to our FTP, and then they download them into their iPads. Mm-hmm. So once someone was in the booth, then they had an interest, they could just go to their iPad and go to whatever particular piece of equipment, and they save so much money.
Well, and exactly. I mean, I like how you said that they had the ability that they could choose. I think that's great to make the video as interactive as possible, where, you know, it's maybe more of a kiosk format. And I know some of the display manufacturers now are having the tabletops that have the iPad mounted underneath so it shows up through the glass. And you know, that's a great way to make that available so that the attendees can see different videos. Because you know, if you have some kind of a massive product, or your facilities are overseas, or you know, for whatever purpose, it's great that you can show that. You know, I've worked with clients that have, you know, massive machines that they do, you know, for asphalt paving, or you know, big things that they can't possibly put on the show floor, and the videos are great for that, because then people can actually see your process and see how it works and see how you're better than your competition, and or in your case they could see your facilities that they would never have the opportunity to visit themselves personally. So there are a lot of ways that you can use that video to showcase.
So do you or don't you have someone who is watching your video? Do you say, wow, warm body in the booth? Do we go over and interrupt them watching the video? Do you let them watch the video to its conclusion and then talk to them?
It's kind of a delicate balance, really, between do you say something to them or do you let them watch it? Because if they are really into it, you don't want to interrupt them. But yet you want to kind of be there and be prepared to start that conversation as soon as the video ends. So it's really, you just got to be very in tune to watching and observing the behavior of the person and kind of sensing when it's right to say something to them.
Exactly. The other thing, too, talking about the graphics, eye candy. Mm-hmm. Is PowerPoint even part of the equation in trade show anymore, or should it be? Or, I mean, we're used to CNN, we're used to Fox and MSNBC. We see a lot of eye candy today. How attractive is just a PowerPoint?
If it's going to just be a list of bullets and text, it's, you know, don't even bother. Using visuals is always very important. So using a PowerPoint as if it were what I want to say, a photo album, a slideshow type presentation. That's much better. But why not go ahead and take it to the next level and take that slideshow and make it video? Because I think that's an objection that a lot of people raise is like, oh, well, we don't want to set up a studio like this and do a whole filming, and they think it's some big dramatic thing. But you can do fabulous presentations with just still photos put together in very creative ways. Have them flying in and out or whatever, and put some great text and graphics behind it or whatever. It makes a great presentation, and it's so much more dynamic than just a PowerPoint.
Kind of like we did for Jetta.
Exactly like you did for Jetta, and it obviously worked. It drew people in from the aisle.
What do you guys think about audio at trade shows?
I think that it's important, if you can, to draft a video that's going to be, the audio is secondary basically, so that the visuals speak for themselves. They've got the bullet points included, the text included on the screen, so somebody doesn't have to actually be hearing the video.
Yeah, in our case, we really did it both ways. Mm-hmm. So the video speaks for itself because of all the dynamic motion that's in it. And that's really what I had in my mind for shows. Even though we have the audio playing, it's really difficult to really focus on it because of just the ambient noise that's constantly going on. But for like our website, the audio is very important.
Length. How long should these videos be? Now, in a marketing video, usually when I sit down with a client or prospect, we talk about the magic number of 3 minutes or thereabouts. If it's compelling enough, we can obviously go past 3 minutes. At a trade show, 3 minutes is quite a long time for someone to stand there and look at your video. And then I know you're waiting, I hope this video ends soon so I can talk to this guy or gal. What length? What do you think?
Well, how long was your video?
Ours is just over 3 minutes. I think it's 3 minutes and 15 seconds or something like that. I think it's fine. Most people don't stand there and watch the entire video. Mm-mm. It's looping. They're going to get half of it, and in that couple minutes or less time frame, they're going to make a decision. Do I engage these people or not? So that's why, in my mind, it was very important to have the dynamics throughout the entire video.
The idea is just to get their attention, to communicate to them who you are, what you do, and why they should be interested in talking to you. The video is not so much about telling them everything about your company and everything they need to know, but it's more, hey, pay attention to us. We've got something to offer you, and then one of your sales reps or somebody in the booth can take that conversation to the next level.
The key thing is, to me, in doing a show like that is, how can you differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack? And a video like that really says something about the company and what you're doing. You come off more professional. It's just a nice image to present out there. So
exactly,
that's very important. So
specifically for you, Marlys, monitor placement. Is it? I mean, Mr. Epic here, he's got this huge monitor.
Can't miss his.
Can't miss his. But I mean, what about the trade show participant who wants to have more than just, say, a 32-inch, just one 32-inch? Is it important to have multiple monitors? And what about placement of those monitors?
Well, a lot of that depends on the size of your booth.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a small booth, then one monitor is probably going to be all you want or need. But the key is with the monitor, it needs to be placed in a relative position to the aisle. And what I mean is, if, for a gigantic monitor like yours, it could be positioned way back into the booth and still draw people in. If it's a smaller monitor, it needs to be closer to the aisle so people aren't standing out there going like this, But it also, you don't want it necessarily right on the aisle, because people then are going to stand in the aisle. And the whole idea is to get them to cross that magic line from the aisle carpet into your space. And so you want that monitor to be far enough back so that people are kind of seeing it from the aisle, but kind of maybe taking a step or two into your space to actually watch the video.
Handouts. DVDs, CDs, flash drives of your story, since you've got your video produced. What about that as a giveaway?
Again, it depends on exactly what your budget is, what you're trying to accomplish. it's so easy now to, rather than giving them a DVD or giving them something, then driving them back to a website later, or, having it available online, or having a more in-depth version available online. Perhaps, have that 3-minute teaser in the booth and then drive them to your website to view something longer. If you want to have handouts in the booth, I think like a little branded flash drive is a great idea. I've seen a lot of exhibitors doing that lately, so.
Have we just about covered everything? Is there any other ideas that either one of you would like to share?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit more about repurposing. We talked a little bit, the idea of using it on your website, creating a branded YouTube channel and putting all your videos up there. Especially on the show organizer side, there are a lot of great ways that they can utilize trade show video and actually even use it as a monetizing feature. They can sell sponsorships to cover the cost of their videos, like a lot of shows do the show daily papers. Take that to the next level, do a show daily video. Some shows are starting to do that now. Have that sponsored, sell ads, those types of things. You can use it, have video playing in the shuttle buses. If it's a large show like CES, they have the shuttle buses that go back and forth to all the hotels. Sell that as a sponsorship where an exhibitor can have their video playing, looping in the screens in the shuttle bus. The hotel usually has a private TV channel. Again, there's a lot of different ways that you can repurpose, either as a show organizer or as an exhibitor, and you can have that, more mileage out of the same video.
You've shot it, you've put it together, you might as well just utilize
Exactly. Make the most of it.
All right. Well, hopefully the viewers today can take away some of the tips that we've brought up, because we've kind of all had some experience with trade show videos, and we just want to help them out, and then hopefully there's some enlightenment for people as they're thinking about, or they are possibly even going to redo the video that they have right now. I think we brought up some good things. Marlys, thank you so much for joining us, and Steve, as always, a pleasure to see you.
My pleasure.
Continued success with Jetta. And we want to thank you for watching.